Welcome! In this video, we will continue our conversation about the course paperwork and what you will need to document during the class. This video will cover the following course paperwork: accident and incident reports, Idaho Star Skills Evaluation, group score sheet for the A instructor, Idaho Star Skills Evaluation B instructor, and knowledge tests. Let's talk about student accidents during a class. For each accident or incident that occurs during your class, you must fill out an individual accident report for each one. If the incident involves more than one person, you must complete a report for each person or motorcycle involved. For example, a student loses control in staging and collides with a bike in front of them and causes that student to hit the bike in front of them. You would complete 3 reports. The form must be filled out in its entirety. Remember, there is no cost for calling 911, so do not hesitate to call. An accident incident report will look like this. The form is divided into 6 sections. The first section is asking for the basic class information. The date should be the date that the accident occurred, time the accident occurred, site the accident occurred at, the instructor who is filling out the form. The class type should be indicated by placing a check mark in front of the course type, and exercise number that the accident occurred during. Check the staging box if the incident happened in the staging section or while conducting staging for any exercise. The second section is asking for information about the person involved, the extent of their injuries, and any actions taken. It is important to be thorough in this section. Do not leave anything out, even if you are running out of space. Get a second accident report if you need additional room for any documentation. The following information should be filled in: the person involved, check instructor, student, or other. The other may be someone who is interpreting or signing for the student. Person's full legal name as it appears on your roster, no nicknames. Check the sex of the injured party. Nature of the injury. Any and all injuries that the injured party expresses should be noted by checking the appropriate boxes or by writing in injuries not listed in the checkbox section. If no injuries are reported, you must check the box for none. If no boxes are checked in this section, the form is considered incomplete and will be returned to you for completion. Person/incident required is for documenting any medical treatment given to the individual after the accident/incident occurred. It is also important to document if the person did not finish/left the site or if they continued training. If some or no boxes are checked in this section, the form is considered incomplete and will be returned to you for completion. The third section is for documenting any bike damage. It is important to be thorough in this section. Do not leave anything out, even if you are running out of space. Get a second accident report if you need additional room for any documentation. Bike info is to document if the bike was program or personally owned. Be sure to document the program bike number or the individual's bike make and model. You must indicate if there was damage to the bike by checking the yes or no box next to the question, damage? List all damage to the bike and any repairs that were made. List and describe any property damage that is not bike-related in this section. In this example, the pavement of the range was damaged. Surface conditions should be indicated by checking either the dry, wet, or other box. If you check the other box, be sure to indicate the conditions of the range. The fourth section is for the injured party to fill out. This section must be written in their own words and should be filled in by them unless they are unable to, in which case you should include a note clarifying why they were unable to complete this section. You must get a signature in this section. This section should be completed prior to the instructor's account section. The fifth section is the instructor's account. Please be specific about what caused the accident or injury. Use descriptives such as throttle, braking, evasive actions, etc., etc., to describe a clear picture about the accident. You must sign and date this section. You should complete this section after the person involved completes the person's account section. The final section is a picture of the range. Please mark where both the A and B instructors were standing at the time of the incident. Mark the start position and the crash position of the injured party on the diagram. Add any information to the diagram that may be helpful to understanding what happened. You must list the A and the B instructors' full legal names in the spaces provided. Do not use nicknames. After you finish filling out the report, make sure to place them in the course packet. The next form that we will be talking about is the Skills Evaluation Group Score Sheet for Instructor A. This form is for recording the student's scores during the skills test portion of the class. Always start on page 1 when writing the students' names down. Use the first and last name as they appear on your roster. Do not use nicknames. The top right corner is to document the date of the test, the testing site, and the full legal names for both the A and B instructors. The left upper section is for indicating if this class started in the AM or PM. Check the appropriate box. See the class code on the roster if you are unsure of the designation. It is indicated before the site in the class code. Next, place a check next to the class type to indicate the course type. Next, we will discuss how to use the score sheet. There are 5 different exercises that a student must perform in order to complete the skills evaluation. They are Evaluation 1A, Offset Cone Weave, Evaluation 1B, Swerve, Evaluation 2, Cornering, Evaluation 3, Sharp Turn, and Evaluation 4, Quick Stop. For all exercises, the scoring has a consistent set of rules. Please refer to the range cards for rules and scoring criteria for each evaluation. Total max equals 10. For each evaluation, the student can only get a max score of 10. Even if the student scores more points in a given section, the max score still stays at 10. Dropping the bike. It is important to know that if a student drops their bike, they automatically fail the test and are not allowed to continue the test. Depending on the amount of accumulated points up to the point of the drop, the student may or may not be eligible for a retest. If a student is retest eligible, they must complete any additional exercises and classroom sessions. Unsafe acts. If a student performs any unsafe act at any time during the test, the student will be dismissed from the test and is not eligible for a retest. Total score. The total score is the amount of points that the student has accumulated for the entire test and should be calculated using the total max equal score boxes. Retest eligible. If a student scores 21 or more, you will need to indicate if the student is eligible for a retest. The current policy states that if a student scores between 21 and 40, they are eligible for a retest, and a Y should be used in the retest eligible section. If they score above 40, then the student is not eligible for a retest, and the instructor should indicate this with an N. See the Policies and Procedures Manual for retest requirements. Make sure to mark your sheet clearly and add all points circled and write in each total box. Both instructors should double-check the score sheet for accuracy in recording and mathematical errors. The B instructor will need to separately score only one exercise, using the Skills Evaluation Group Score Sheet for Instructor B. The exercise they will be scoring is the Evaluation 1B Swerve. The form should be filled out in the exact same manner as the Instructor A's score sheet. Instructor A will transpose the scores from Instructor B's score sheet to the master score sheet. Both score sheets should be submitted with the course paperwork. Next, let's talk about the knowledge test. The student should be encouraged to fill in the entire box. This makes it easier for the instructor to grade the test using the provided answer key. The instructor should use a red pen to grade the tests. The instructor should either mark an X or circle the correct answer if the student answers incorrectly. The grading scale is as follows. Both the Basic 1 and the Sidecar Trike have 50 questions worth 2 points apiece. Both the Basic 2 and the Experienced course have 25 questions worth 4 points apiece. Be sure to check and double-check your math. Collect your answer sheets and alphabetize them by the student's last name, then place them in the course packet. Thanks for watching. In the next video, we will continue our discussion about course paperwork with student evaluations, finishing a class roster, and completing and emailing your course report. Ta-ta!